think about some really extreme places,
Yeah.
like inside your car's exhaust system, right? Searing heat. Or maybe the tiny circuits inside your phone.
Uh-huh. Really demanding environments.
Exactly. So what kind of material handles that? Stays stable, doesn't really change shape much, but is also super light.
Yeah, it's probably not what most people would guess.
Definitely not a household name. Welcome to Deep Dive. We're the podcast that looks, beneath the surface at the things really shaping our world.
And today, we're digging into Cordierite Ceramics.
Right. This stuff is kind of a silent workhorse. It's behind cleaner cars, faster computers, lots of things we use daily.
So our mission today is to unpack its global market. Where's it growing? Why is that growth happening? And what's next for it?
And we've got some solid data to guide us a market forecast looking at Cordierite Ceramics from 2021, stretching all the way out to 2033.
Yeah, and the story tells us one of, well, quiet but really significant expansion.
It's fascinating how these, background materials can be so crucial.
It really is. Cordierite's a great example of how, a material that seems niche becomes absolutely essential when you push engineering limits. It's a key part of the advanced ceramics family.
Okay, so let's get into that. What are its superpowers? What makes it stand out from other ceramics?
Well, it's really about a combination of three things that are tricky to get together. First, it has exceptional thermal stability. It just handles incredible heat without failing.
Okay, handles heat.
Second, and this is maybe the most critical part, it has incredibly low thermal expansion.
Meaning it doesn't really grow or shrink much with temperature changes?
Exactly. Think about something needing to keep its precise shape, whether it's freezing cold or super hot. That's cordierite. It prevents cracking under thermal stress.
Wow, okay.
And third, it's surprisingly lightweight for a ceramic.
That low thermal expansion, that really jumps out. I mean, everything's about precision these days, right? Miniaturization. So holding shape under temperature swings sounds vital.
It is.
So where does that put it to work?
Well, the classic example is automotive catalytic converters. It's the honeycomb structure inside.
Ah, right.
That part sees massive temperature shifts, from a cold start to, high-speed driving. If it expanded and contracted a lot, it would just break apart.
Makes sense.
But it's also crucial in electronics as a base, a substrate, or maybe a heat sink to manage heat in devices you carry around. And then there's industrial heating, things like kiln furniture, furnace linings. Anywhere high, stable temperatures are the norm. It's basically enabling reliability in tough spots.
It's amazing how something so important can be so hidden, really. Okay, so let's talk growth. This market isn't static. You mentioned significant expansion.
Oh yeah, the numbers show a clear upward trend. Back in 2021, the global market was valued at $2.17 billion.
Okay.
By 2025, that's expected to hit $2.79 billion.
Steady climb.
But the longer view, out to 2033, that's where it gets really interesting. A forecast of $4.61 billion.
Wow, that's more than double the 2021 figure.
Exactly. And that reflects a solid compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 6.48% over that whole period.
So going from just over $2 billion to nearly $5 billion in about 12 years, that feels like more than just finding more uses for it. What does that imply?
It suggests cordierite is becoming even more fundamental, like a true cornerstone material for advanced manufacturing and tech globally.
So industries aren't just using it, they're actively designing with it in mind.
Precisely. They're leveraging its unique properties to hit next-level performance goals. Think better emissions control, better thermal management and smaller electronics, more robust industrial processes. This growth signals that commitment.
That's a really key distinction. It's enabling new possibilities, not just filling old roles. Okay, so with this global growth, is it happening everywhere equally, or are there hotspots? Let's dive into the regions.
Definitely not equal. The regional picture is very revealing. Asia-Pacific is, well, it's the powerhouse. Absolutely dominates the growth story.
Okay, how big are we talking?
It started at about $778 million back in 2021. The forecast for 2033, a huge $1.74 billion.
Oh.
And its EAGR is 7.13%, which is the highest rate globally. Just shows a relentless drive there.
What's fueling that dominance in Asia-Pacific? Is it just one or two countries, or?
It's largely built on the region's massive electronics manufacturing base. China's the single biggest piece, projected to hit almost $700 million by 2033.
Right.
But India is really notable for its rate of growth. It boasts one of the strongest KGRs worldwide at 7.65%, aiming for over $325 million.
So India's catching up fast.
Very fast. It shows how tied Cordierite is to the tech strategies of these major economies. And then you have strong, established players like Japan, expected around $205 million, South Korea over $100 million, plus solid momentum across Southeast Asia, Taiwan. They're all growing above 6%.
So it's both scale in China and acceleration in places like India, plus broad strength across the region. Okay, with APAC leading like that, what about North America and Europe? Still growing.
Oh, absolutely. They're showing significant, stable demand. North America, for instance, is set to nearly double. It was around $630 million in 2021, projected to reach $1.25 billion by 2033. That's a respectable 6.1% CAGR.
And the U.S. leads there, presumably.
Yes, the U.S. makes up the lion's share, heading towards $943 million. But what's interesting is Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
Their growth rates are actually faster than the regional average. Canada is at 6.48% CAGR. Mexico at 6.21%. So the growth is broadening out.
Okay, so solid growth with some interesting faster pockets in North America. What about Europe? Similar story.
Very similar, steady, strong expansion. Europe goes from about $517 million to over $1 billion by 2033. That's a 6.3% CAGR.
Right.
Germany and the UK are the leaders in market size, as you might expect, given their industrial bases. We see steady growth in France, Italy, Spain, too.
But is there a surprise in Europe, like with Canada and Mexico?
There is, actually. The rest of Europe category, so many smaller economies grouped together, that segment shows one of the highest growth rates on the continent.
Really?
Yeah, a 6.89% CAGR. It's projected to reach nearly $300 million. It suggests innovation isn't just concentrated in the big players.
That's fascinating. It shows the adoption is really widespread. Okay, we've covered the big established regions. What about emerging markets? South America, the Middle East, Africa, are they part of this story too?
Definitely. And they often have their own dynamics. South America, for example, shows really impressive growth. The market there is forecast to more than double.
Double from what?
From about $98 million in 2021 to roughly $272 million by 2033.
Wow.
Brazil leads in size, heading towards $89 million. But check this out. Colombia has the fastest growth rate in the region, nearly 7% CAGR.
Colombia, interesting. So again, pockets of faster growth.
Exactly. It points towards a maturing industrial landscape down there.
Okay, and the Middle East, how does it fit in?
The Middle East sees more moderate overall growth, but still significant, going from about $91 million to $166 million by 2033. That's a 4.76% CAGR.
Key players there.
Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the UAE are the main contributors. Saudi heading towards $70 million. But, like in Europe, the rest of the Middle East category is the standout.
Let me guess, high growth rate.
You got it. An exceptional 8.46% CAGR.
Whoa, nearly 8.5%.
Yeah, it really points to some dynamic, perhaps less obvious, opportunities popping up across that region, maybe linked to economic diversification pushes.
That really underscores that you can't just look at the biggest economies. Okay, finally, Africa. What's happening there with Cordierite?
Africa is also set for significant expansion, relatively speaking, growing from around $59 million in 2021 to $120 million by 2033.
And the growth rate?
Solid 5.03% CAGR. South Africa and Nigeria are the main drivers, alongside the combined rest of Africa.
And the why there? What's driving it in Africa?
It seems largely tied to increasing industrialization and infrastructure development. As these economies grow and build out manufacturing, transport, energy, they need these kinds of durable, high-performance materials.
Right, for longevity and efficiency in new projects.
Precisely.
So this really paints a global picture, doesn't it? From, high-tech hubs in Asia to industrializing nations in Africa, this one material is playing a key role.
It absolutely connects the threads.
So if you zoom out, what's the big takeaway? For someone in manufacturing or R&D or even just listening to this?
I think the key takeaway is that this broad growth across so many different types of economies shows Cordierite isn't just a component anymore. It's recognized as an enabling technology. Meaning companies that really understand its properties, that low expansion, the heat resistance, the lightness, and design it strategically, they gain an edge. Better performance, more durability, meeting tough regulations.
It's a reminder that innovation often relies on these specialized materials that solve very specific, very critical problems.
Exactly. It's not always about the flashiest component. Sometimes it's about the unsung hero material making it all possible.
Yeah, it drives home how this seemingly niche world of advanced ceramics, like Cordierite, directly impacts things we use every day. Our cars run cleaner, our gadgets manage heat better, industrial processes get more efficient. all thanks, in part, to this stuff.
It illustrates how these specialized materials, often hidden from view, are really strategic assets in technological progress and even economic development.
Yeah. So this deep dive, it really shifted cordierite from just some obscure material name to like a recognized essential, a quiet but really powerful force in global tech and manufacturing.
Well put. It shows why looking beyond the obvious is so important to understanding what really drives change.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, considering how much this one specialized material underpins so many critical technologies we rely on, what other hidden heroes might be shaping our world right now without us even realizing it?
That's a great question to ponder.
Something for you to think about. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.